Hello and welcome to Profit Channels. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. This is what I call edutainment, a mixture of education and entertainment. Please consult with your financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Even though I am a CPA Monday through Friday, doing accounting is a lot different than investing in the stock market, and I am often wrong. I am going to be looking at the S&P 500 today again. I looked at it last weekend, and this is our channel. You can see the 1929 crash right here. We have a nice midline. These points of control here and here. You can see another one right there on this monthly time frame. Move this out the way. Okay, so here's the .com bust, and we hit this channel here, .com bust, housing bust, and over 12 years before we started going up again. So that's why this is such a significant point of control. So we're up here again. So it's dangerous. Clearly, there's some risk over reward. Okay, so channels. All right. Let's go to the weekly. And let me get a couple of these channels. Too many. All right, so we see we have this channel here. It's well respected midpoint line, and we have room to go up here in this channel. Close that one out. We have this bigger channel. And this one. All right, here we go. We have this bigger channel here within our purple channel. And you can see it's got a good midpoint line. And we are approaching the top of it. We bounced off, corrected to the midpoint, and we're heading back up. This is a real strong midpoint line. And then finally, we've got, there's lots of channels in this stuff, but you have to look for them. We're in this channel in the shorter term. And so again, a nice midpoint line. We're on our way up. I think we're going to bounce back down and test this line here. You can see that's a point of control and this channel. This channel is not perfectly drawn, but it's an area that would be very, very normal. So we broke out, we come back and test it. That's what happens. If I look at, let's go to the daily real quick. Yeah, there's that. It's a higher point of control, so we're going to at least test that. So let's look at some fib retracements. So back here to this, where I think we're going to head back to is testing this line. This level is a 382. And we back out here, and I look at this run from here to up here. Let me get too much on there. We bounce back to the 382. So shorter term, close that, open that. This run here, we come back to the 382. That could very easily happen. I think at least up in here to this point of control. And then, longer term, I see us coming, moving up in this channel. So I do fib extension from here, this bottom, to this top to this bottom. We have that. If I open this one up, where on a longer scale, I'm going from this bottom to this top, back down to this bottom. We got a 2.68 up here, right with our 1. So that could work out nicely. So this is an area, I said 7,665. Yeah, right in there. That's still where I'm seeing. I can do this thing like this, where I put in these trend lines, and they're all pointing up into this area. You can see they got a lot of touches, each one of these lines. Let me get this channel out of here. So I see a lot of positive things, although we are probably going to pull back a little bit. Again, back to this. That's the extension, pardon. The 382 maybe, or at least to this point of control. Okay. Now let's look at our ribbons. Let's back out to the monthly. All right, you can see our moving averages gathered together. We broke out. We're bouncing off the 50 and the 100, and then we break through it all. And the lines gather again, and then we take off, bouncing off the 50, break through the 50 and the 100, come back up, break through them all, gather these lines up, and then we go for another run. So we're still on the monthly in this run area where these are going up. If we see this starting to bend over, that is, yeah, don't bend over. Okay, weekly. And if we go back in time, we got our points of control. Let me get rid of those. It's just too much right now. Okay. Let's get back to, here we go. Okay. So the 2000 .com bust, we broke through all our lines, bouncing off this 50, broke out of it up to the 200, bouncing off of that, bouncing off the 100, heading up. Then we break through them all, bouncing around these lines, up again, and we go for our run. Everything consolidates. Our lines all get together. They all get together here. That's not what I meant to do. So here we are again. You see here, we bounced off broke through it all in COVID, and then broke back up again for the run, broke down, bounced off the 200. We got our lines together again, bounced off the 50 and the 100, ran up, bounced off the 100. So we're still moving, and we're above these lines, and they're all pointing up. On the daily, you can see that we broke through them all. It broke back above them all. And so we got to come down here and bounce off, one of these lines. That's just what's going to happen. That's normal. Let's look at some other charts real quick. Okay, on the monthly, this is the parabolic SAR and the super trend, and they are both still in buys firmly. Our RSI is just below overbought. This is kind of a downward trend, but we can still go up on a downward trend. Same thing here. Squeeze momentum, just a little bit of a downward trend, less bullish. MACD is looking okay. Weekly, we're still in buys. We're a lot closer to changing that. We've got an upward trending RSI, even though it's currently heading down. Maybe it's going to bounce off, break through this, and bounce back up. Squeeze momentum. It looks like it's starting to run out of steam, but still really positive. And same with the MACD. Okay, now to the daily. We got our first sells, okay, on the daily. So 2 cells up here. We're really dropping down here in this RSI, breaking below our midpoint level. Squeeze momentum is becoming less and less bullish. It is almost neutral. And our MACD is still positive, but is taking a little dip. So yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of a pullback. Now this is the squeeze momentum, and on the monthly, this chart is no good. Well, actually, I take that back. I just didn't zoom in enough. Okay, so we're well above our Bollinger Band. I could expect a pullback. You can see that we've been dipping down into it, which we should. So just another one is what we can expect right now. Money flow index is generally positive. Stochastics is firmly an overbought. It's breaking down. And our ADX is saying currently not much of a trend. So trends are above 20. We're pretty low. On the weekly, we are over our Bollinger Band RSI strategy. So some kind of pullback is normal, but we've ran above it for a while. Money flow index is turning around. Stochastics is coming back down, but you can see how long it stayed in overbought. And it can bounce around in here and have little dips. So these are normal. And the ADX is saying we have no trend at this point on the weekly, just moving sideways. Going to the daily, we got this buy indicator down here, like no duh. We bounced off the top of our Bollinger Band, and maybe we're going to come back down and retest this trend line or moving average. Money flow index is coming down, but it's been playing in this range. This is a pretty negative move, though, looking at the daily chart. And our stochastics are trying to get down into this oversold position where we may see a correction. If I go back to this in the daily, let's put in our gaps. Oh, yeah. Okay. And you can see that we've got a gap here by this point of control. We just formed a gap above us. So I think we got to come down here and, break down to here, at least to here, this point of control, or back here, this 382. Probably before we keep going up to